Hello learners, and welcome to week 5 of medieval history. This week we're on the Silk Road and globalization, and I wrote that twice. I'm not sure why. Hello learners, and welcome to week 5 of medieval history. This week we're on the Silk Road and globalization. Can't really believe it's week 5 already. The school year is flying by. And so we are on checkpoint 3, the Silk Road and globalization. And again, please make sure you request your content assessment when you feel prepared. I have not had everyone request them, and you really need to be looking at that focus area, learning the material, and reaching out to me if you haven't done so already. Okay, the essential question again is, has globalization done more harm than good? And we're going to continue focusing on that throughout this checkpoint. Okay, so if you go into your checkpoint, you're going to see it says the Silk Road and globalization. It says, what is it? And you can go through and define it in your own words. And you also have this. This is really great. So basically, you're going to read through this, and you can highlight yellow and follow the directions, yellow and blue, to find supporting evidence. And you can go through this, highlight evidence that globalization does harm for the world in yellow and that it's good in blue. So that way you can see both sides of the issue. And I like this too, because as you go through the different resources, it says the pros and cons of it, or a lot of it's just the pros or just the cons. So as you read through it, you can do the yellow for harm and the yellowish blue, the greenish blue for the good. And you can take some notes in the side. So that's really going to help you. And then when you go to complete your checkpoint, which is what's going to be turned into me, it says copy, has globalization done more harm or good for the world? Copy and paste the final statement that you and your partner, now unfortunately this is going to be individual, so where it says work with your partner or work with a small group or whatever, you'll just be completing it yourself. And it's not going to be something you can't do by yourself. Because as I said before, when you go through this, it says what is globalization? You're going to have lots of different resources and things to look at, from communication to travel to things that are happening. And then you can go through, like I said, and look at these different resources. And there's a lot of great things in here. This guy says, there's no question that globalization has been a good thing for developing countries who now have access to markets and can export cheap goods. So if you're reading that, you say, oh, well, that's a real good thing. Highlight it in blue, and you can take notes off to the side. And like I said, you could have done this with a group, but it's going to be just fine by yourself as well. Okay, and then when you go, you find evidence that it's either good or bad, and you can use that evidence from what you just found in the other documents, okay? Because you should have highlighted it. And then you are going to back up your claim. Okay, again, here's our project. We've done now checkpoint 1, 2, and 3, or you should have done checkpoint 1, 2, and you're working on 3. You can see right here, there's your checkpoint. You click on that, and that's what gets submitted to me. Down below is where you find your resources that you use to complete that checkpoint, which are the ones that I just showed you. Again, there's our breakdown for the year, and this should be moving along actually a little bit further here. But this line keeps going, and you need to be keeping up with it. Unfortunately, these are not always in order, but I think this is the one that you are supposed to be doing, the second one in the power focus area. So you click on that, and what was the world like in 300 CE? Click on these various things and request to take the content assessment. Okay, and there's some more resources there. And then, of course, the Google Classroom that you should be keeping up with. So if you have a question with anything, that was just a reminder that tomorrow is ice cream day at school. I'm doing this a day early here. So we will be having ice cream at work. So anyway, so please make sure you're on top of this. Checkpoint number 3. Please make sure you reach out if you have any questions. Some of these can be a little confusing. This system was made for a brick and mortar school, and sometimes I have to adapt it for a cyber school, which is perfectly fine. So like where I said, if it says, work with a partner, you are more than able to do this on your own. All the resources are there for you. And like I said, this one resource with all, hold on one second, go back. This resource here, this document set, is just full of amazing information that you're going to be able to find a lot of great things to either support that globalization is bad or harmful or good. Okay, so reach out if you need anything and make sure that you are staying on pace. Thanks so much. Have a great week. Bye.